Okay, welcome to another project presentation session. Hello, Ishmoel, how are you doing?
I'm great, sir. How are you doing?
I'm also good. So Ishmoel, आपने recently Python level 1 qualified here, right?
Yes.
Okay, and what are you doing next?
Sir, now I'm going for Scratch Batch 3 so I can finish my Scratch.
Yeah. Actually, I wouldn't say like there's any sort of finishing any of these tracks because if you want to keep on like searching for more and more complex problems to solve, then Scratch also has like so much more potential.
Yes,
So in level 3 we will cover like a lot more ideas, but even then um the imagination is like you could say limitless, so somebody can think of an even more complex idea and like build that with Scratch. So there is a lot that we can do within like one tool or the other one. um,
yes.
so yeah, maybe we'll see like if there's a level 4 of Scratch, but I think
Wow.
we have some other things on the priority list. Designing something more on Unity or like with Python, that's higher on the priority list.
Yes.
Yeah, but this is a conversation that we can have at a later time as well. Why don't you like introduce yourself and then we'll move towards your project presentation.
Okay, sir. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name is Ishmoel Mufti, and today I will be presenting the project Rock, Paper, Scissors
Okay, all right.
that I have made on Python.
All right. So Ishmael, other than this, like, what do you like to do for fun?
Sir, I've enjoyed doing games, and I've also wondered how to do game development. So
Mm-hmm.
that is one of my future interests. Another being
Mm-hmm.
mechanical engineering.
Mechanical engineering.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Interesting field. Yes, definitely. Um, I'm not sure like what its scope would be in Pakistan. But yeah, I mean, for higher studies, it's definitely like a good choice, and it opens a path to a little bit of robotics as well, maybe. But then mechatronics would be more suitable for that. But why mechanical engineering?
Sir, I've been into sciences and math. So
Mm-hmm.
since I'm mainly into physics, so I thought mechanical engineering would be,
Mm. Yes, yes.
but
If
under there
physics in,
also comes programming. So I also want to
yeah,
become a programmer.
if your interest is in physics, then yes, mechanical engineering would be like a really good field to go for. I mean, if it's something related to applied sciences. On the other hand, if you want to remain on the theoretical side, then purely studying physics, that's also very fascinating. But yeah, this is something maybe like we'll explore further at a later time. How about we like take a look at your project?
Okay, sir. I will share my screen. Okay, so on Replit, I have designed the project Rock, Paper, Scissors. It's a very simple
Mm-hmm.
project. So since it's
Mm-hmm.
my Python, so I decided to think of one in which I knew the code. So the
Mm-hmm.
code starts with an import random, which allows us to enable the computer to use random choices. Otherwise, it will not work. And
Mm-hmm.
we have options such as rock, paper, or scissors. So
Mm-hmm.
running through. So we have added a while loop here as well. So while it is running, the play when it says player equals none, it means that the player can type anything in the inputs, which I have written here.
Mm-hmm.
Computer is
Mm-hmm.
looking for random choice out of the options over here. So while
Mm-hmm.
it is not an option, so what if the player something that is not in the options? If we don't say anything in options,
Yes.
the it will input the same thing again. Other,
Okay.
so I'll just get it ready. Right now, I will explain the code. Okay. So here are combinations. If player is equals to computer, it will print as a tie because if our choice is equal to the computer's choice, it will tie. So
Hmm.
if my choice is rock and computer is scissor, it will print I win since rock
Hmm.
beats.
Hmm.
Same again for paper and rock. Paper beats rock.
Hmm.
Scissor and paper. Scissor beats paper. But I didn't want to write the entire code down again with different combinations. So instead of doing that, I just wrote else because there's no other
Hmm.
combination there are other combinations such as what if I get scissor and computer gets rock, and I get rock and computer gets paper. So instead of writing that all down, I just wrote else so that if it's none of these, it'll just print I lose.
Okay, 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 okay.
If not, so if I have one, so after this code is passed, it will input play again, yes or no. So I have to write in either yes and it will repeat, or I have to type in no and it will print thanks for playing and the game will end.
Hmm.
So may I demonstrate?
Yeah, sure. Let's go.
Okay. Now I have to enter a choice rock paper or scissor. Say I choose
Hmm.
scissor. Now I have apparently tied because both our choices are equal. We both are scissors.
Hmm.
I'll
Okay.
play. Now, this time let's enter paper. Now, this time I won against computer since I was paper and computer was
Hmm.
rock. I'll play again
Yeah.
one and this time I'll pick scissors again. And again I tied. So that's how it works.
Okay.
So
All right.
if I write no, it will say thanks for playing and it code will restart. Now there's one more thing I want to show that I've added to my code. So I explained earlier that I have added this while player not in options so that if I type
Hmm.
anything wrong, it will not go further. So let me test that. Say I type in something else. What if I type in rocket? So if I
Hmm.
enter that, it won't go through. It will make me read
Hmm.
something else. It works with every single word, but only scissors, rock, or paper can go through. And
Hmm.
it is even it's very character specific as well. If I write the S capital in scissors, it still will not go through. Everything has to be small font.
Okay, 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 okay.
Otherwise, the code will not work.
Oh, okay.
So
Hmm. Interesting.
it's a very simple project I made. Next time
Hmm.
I will probably go further and do better
Hmm.
project.
It's simple, yet it's very effective, and there is a good, you could say, use of the list thing that you have created a set of options, and using a while loop, it can actually, you could say, disregard every other option out of these three. So since the while loop is saying while player not in options, player will keep on asking for an input. So
Yeah.
that is a really good use of this thing. But I think maybe upper cases and lower cases could be handled in a different way. Like it should maybe allow an uppercase capital S scissors as well and capital
Sir,
uh,
that was a bit hard for me to figure out, but once I'll do better in Python, I will surely understand the solution to these problems.
hmm. Well, say, I think you have already handled it in one of the other things. You have another input in your project. Can you take a look at that? Hmm.
Can you repeat, sir?
There is another input in your project.
Yes, sir. After this input, you have the input play again, yes and no.
And over here, you with the lower function attached to the input function, you are actually turning everything in the input into a lowercase thing. So couldn't the same thing work with the scissors as well? Scissor,
Hmm.
rock, paper, scissor input.
I could try doing that,
Could we try it even now? It seems like something so simple that maybe we can try it even now.
maybe.
We can write dot lower after the input function that's taking the input in the player.
Hmm.
So it would be go after the input function, right?
Yes, it would come over here.
Hmm. So let's write it.
Okay, sir. Dot lower.
And now let's see if like anything that we do, anything that we run in the program gets converted into like a lowercase scissors as well, or rock paper scissors.
Hmm. Let's see. Let me check that. Now I'll do the same again. Oh, if I write this. It still won't work.
Oh, but this is running the previous file. You have to start it
Yes.
again, because you
So
modified the code.
let me edit that. No.
Hmm.
Now let me just clear this. Okay, here. Now let me start it. Now let's try it again. Let's see if there's any difference in the code. Now it works.
It works. Yeah. Okay. So this was
Let
the
me
next
check with the others too. Say I write
hmm,
paper like this.
with
Now,
capital paper, capital P.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now let's do all caps. It still
Hmm.
works.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. So since you had like a good use of this thing in the other input, I thought it's best that we also make use of this over here. And so you have the print function um, that's telling, okay, all right. What is the choice of the player? What is the choice of the computer? Yes, and then we compare it. So that's good, right? And the if statement is also very clever that you have at the lower part that if
Yes.
not input, yeah, if not input equals to, so it's in that same line that you're recording the input as well, then comparing it to yes, and if it's not there, then running remains true, otherwise it becomes false. That's good.
Hmm.
Okay, so I would actually love to take a further look into it and maybe try it sometime too. So maybe you can send me an invite over here on this invite button, add my username Shuja UL. That's the only username that I could get over here. I usually only have Shuja202 as my
Into
as my
this one,
username anywhere. Yes,
should I
but this is
invite
the
you?
one Replit gave me. Yes, yeah, I'll be able to like see this code as well and maybe look into it a little further. So, but there is this one thing that it is totally a game of chance. Like in this one, there is no strategy, right? we
Yes.
couldn't we couldn't beat this thing with any
It's
sort
a
of
luck
strategy.
based game, so
Yeah, yeah.
depends.
Do you think so? You guys made tic-tac-toe in Python level one as well. What about
Yeah.
that game? Do you think that's also totally based on luck, or do you think that has some sort of strategy in it?
Sir, that has strategy in it as well.
Hmm.
That
That
has
has some.
strategy in which that you have to make a certain
Hmm.
combination. If you
Hmm.
all three are overlapping.
Hmm.
So
Hmm. Yeah.
it requires
So
skill. It's not about luck.
yeah, if in a strategy game we're trying to beat a computer, then we also have to train the computer how to like always choose the better strategy in order to like make it more difficult for the player to beat the computer. We can't do that thing in a random, you could say, chance-based game. So maybe that's something that you should explore a little further next time. That what sort of strategy game are you going to maybe like make?
Yes, indeed. Even I would try doing that furthermore.
Sure, that would be great. Okay, thank you so much for sharing this with us. This was very well presented and in a really well written code. So, would love to see what you make in the next course.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.